The District Council of Wakiso met at the administrative headquarters in the town council. Wakiso LC5 chairman Matialwanga Bwanika has been fighting degradation of the environment, especially illegal sand mining, for a long time. Wakiso district councillors who oppose his stand against sand mining accuse him of telling the media that they took bribes from government officials to permit the activity. The councillors said Bwanika demeaned their status as people's representatives and demanded an apology before any other discussions could proceed.
For me, I heard the word denial. I didn't have an apology. I didn't say, I'm sorry. I said, I said,
I stand to second the motion of creation of a committee inquiry into the chairperson's conduct and misuse of office by his actions that are well laid. This is not enough.
Some of them came to his defense.
Honorable members, we think after someone apologizes, we should close the chapter. Then life moves on. We have a lot on our table.
The Speaker, Simon Nsuga, gave Bwanika an opportunity to respond.
Chairman, you are confirmed.
I will take it upon myself to clear that air in subsequent fora.
However, some councillors were not content with the chairman's apology and suggested a vote for a commission of inquiry on this matter.
Suspension on the privileges of the committee shall be restored if any time before the end of the period suspend, he or she rendered the apology.
Mr. Speaker, tukyalinawo n'ebintu ebirala bingi twagala okwongera okunoonyerezaako tulabe baddala chairman waffe asante ddala okutuula mu ntebe eyo nga chairman waffe tuba tulaba otugenda atuwabya.
There was drama when Gombe Division Councillor Ronald Kasirivu grabbed the microphone from his colleague to stop him from calling for an impeachment.
We can't give them an opportunity to put their committee. It is what they did to Lukwago. These people are very wise.
The Speaker adjourned the sitting for the councillors to take decisions on the matter. A representative from each political party would present their findings on return. Some of them engaged Bwanika during the break. When proceedings resumed, Bwanika apologized. Speaking to NTV on the sidelines, Bwanika said this will not divert his fight against illegal sand mining.
Sand mining is illegal. Whether there is a council resolution by numbers, it is what? In fact, even the council's pronouncement is an illegality. So it is a clear manifestation that they are external forces. But the external forces can be managed.
Accusations of illegal sand mining in Wakiso district have been leveled against Chinese company Mango Tree Group Limited. Walter Mwesije, NTV.
All right, that story shapes the discussion of the big story. We get to look at what happened yesterday in Wakiso District Council, what's been happening over time and going forward. We thought we'd have the district chairman himself, but we were not able to get him to come. But that's all right. We have got one of the councillors whom we saw in that story, Tom Mwonge. He's councillor for Kasangati. Good morning.
Morning.
We should have had another councillor altogether, but they're not here. But you see, this is like a train. It moves. So let's move. Let's move. You people were pretty fogging, discussing, you know, this sand mining row. Let's talk about the genesis of this. What's the real crux of the matter?
The matter, I think, is being misinterpreted or misunderstood. Because most people are talking about sand mining. Yes. Believe me or not, sand mining has been there even before we are born, because there have been constructions and we need it and we will still need it. However, with Mango Tree, what you understand is dredging, clearing the path for the ships and vessels. That is improving on water transport. That's what they explained. However, as Wakiso councillors or Wakiso Council, we don't have the right to permit these people. They have to go through different levels. First of all, they have to be registered by, I think, National Investment Authority to be allowed in the country. Secondly, there is NEMA. They have to do the risk assessments before they go to waters. So, For us, we welcome investments because we have to get, you know, there is this problem, people are crying for jobs. Every now and then, we get graduates. However, as we welcome these investors, we have to look deep into the risks. What are those risks? And I know there are some guidelines because recently the Minister of State, Mr. Werike, for Transport, launched this dredger. I think it was last month. So the full minister, if he can launch that dredger, what can the councillors do?
The dredger bit, and we'll discuss that because the minister, you know, according to what we got to understand, the ministry was saying this one is to desilt the water, to remove dirt, soil, and that kind of thing.
So that
not
it paves the way.
Per se.
It paves the way for the vessels. So we are going. They're expecting to construct a dock at Entebbe. That is Katabi Town Council. So we are here we are improving on transport, on water transport. And in fact, they told us they have guidelines on doing that. They will not do it everywhere. We have some breeding areas. They can't go to those breeding areas. They have guidelines, and we have people that, there are people that have to overlook or supervise their dredging.
There seems to be a divide within your council. There are those who are saying, like you are saying, we need to critically assess this. Has NEMA given a green light? Has the Investment Authority given a green light? And then there are others who are saying, these are investors, let's let them be. And some folks on this end are saying, you who are saying, let's give the investors a go-ahead willy-nilly, have taken bribes. How far has that conversation gone? Has some kind of investigation been done? Because those are heavy-sounding allegations. If some councillors say you guys took bribes, you know, so that we can allow the investors to do whatever it is that they want, that's a serious matter.
It was unfortunate that our governor, we call him Governor Wanika, overreacted. And I call it a slip of tongue. He said councillors received bribes. That's why he was on a hot plate.
And you guys wanted to impeach him yesterday?
We didn't want to impeach him. That's where the division came from. What we wanted was an apology. We can't impeach our governor over that. We are human beings. We make mistakes. He was fighting for our environment. You know him very well. But I think he was also misquoting. No one is on sand mining. We are against sand mining, but on dredging. So the problem came when the big man said, have even councillors who never went to school, you were bribed. Sincerely speaking, with the kind of politics we are going through, you know, our electorate, our people, they always think of money. When you talk of bribe, whenever you pass, on Sunday I was seated somewhere enjoying my soda. Someone came and told me, hey, is this our sand? I said, we are on a hot plate. So we had to request for that apology, which he did. And what brought the fracas was other members thinking of taking, coming up with a committee to go deep into those details and see whether it needs impeachment or what. That's where the division came from. What we said, the man has apologized. Let's move on. We have a lot. Wakiso, remember, is one of the districts which has the biggest population in this country. Service delivery is still poor. So if we start going into this fracas, then service delivery will be a very big problem. That's why we said this should be the end of the road, and we start a new chapter.
Starting a new chapter, what chapter is this? Because there's still the question of sand mining. The investors who are available saying they want to do this. Salim Saleh the other day said, look, we have got to create jobs, so let these guys mine their sand. And others will say, can we ensure that we follow the rightful procedures? And again, not everybody should be given a license. So how are you moving on when you say we should move on?
Through our spearhead, that is the speaker, as councillors, we allow dredging. Remember, dredging is cleaning of the lake. We're able to create a pathway for the vessels. That means there are rocks, there is sand. At the end of the day, all that sand won't be just thrown away. That's what I know, to my understanding. It will be used for other valuable issues. However, we say they have to follow the guidelines of NEMA, of the Investment Authority, and I know Also, fisheries has to come in and show its impact. Then you have to weigh the impacts. Which one is better for the nation? You people, I know, at least you've got a chance, you've traveled, leave alone councillors who have not gone to school. I hear
going to school, I mean you can't travel.
Okay, you can as well. But I hear in Dubai, they have constructed big hotels on waters. So they had to go to look into all the impacts, the consequences, to go and to decide to do what, to construct those hotels. We need also those developments, but we have to be sensitive with our environment. Remember, we're the Pearl of Africa. People are cutting trees. It's not allowed, but we have to build timber. But we have to find ways. Now the biggest problem, my biggest problem was on fish. But they told us, no, they can't go into those breeding areas. 2, we have to improve also to fish farming also as another way of at least keeping our fish. However, with the problem of job opportunities, please, we have to find ways. If investors are coming, they assess the risks and see this is a better way to go. Why not? I
want to hear from you what you are agreeing to do going forward as a council. Because the sand mining question still remains.
Yes.
And General Salim Saleh, the other day, he backed the investors, saying, let's let them be. After all, they're going to create jobs and that kind of thing. So what are you saying as council? Are you saying you're going to institute a probe of sorts? Are you saying we are backing the sand miners? Are you saying no to sand mining? What are you people saying?
We can't simply back the sand mining. We have, we are just mere councillors. We have the
You're leaders, you're not mere councillors.
We are leaders. But we have the technocrats who will come and advise. We have to do this in regards to what the technocrats have told us. Like NEMA. Without NEMA's approval, even if you approve, that is no nuisance. So we just welcome that. What I meant with going forward, we need our head. We need to be together as a team. We need to get to know what is happening in lakes, what will be the consequences as a team, but not few individuals. So that's why I told you we have to close that chapter and move forward as a team. So these divisions would bring problems. Otherwise, if we are together, this one will come with an idea, the other one with an idea, then we see what NEMA tells us, then the Investment Authority and other government bodies. Then we come up with a better decision for the best of our country.
You rightly say that NEMA has got to give a go-ahead because the NEMA Act mandates them to do so.
Yes.
Do you see the NEMA advice, recommendation being followed? Because we know about, in this town, in this country, wetlands that have been taken over by very powerful people. NEMA said no, but because whoever was involved was either powerful or powerfully connected or moneyed or that kind of thing, whatever they wanted to do did go on in a wanton manner. Do you see the recommendation of NEMA happening now that General Salim Saleh has come out and he's saying, no, we want investors, we want to create jobs, so from the word go, there is already a bias from a powerful person in this country. Do you see that at the end of the day, we are going to see rightful procedures followed, that NEMA can actually come out and say no to this if it shouldn't happen anyway?
You're right to say that, and I expect it to go that way. However, remember what you said. There are some projects that have been started. As long as there is a big arm, these people won't follow the rules and regulations. However, our emphasis is, as the council, that these people should follow the right procedures. That is our emphasis. Though we might not be the enforcers. Our role will be, okay, we can go once in a while to oversee, to supervise as councillors, but still, we need to, the government or NEMA must put their people to oversee, to supervise the works of mango tree, to see that they follow the guidelines and rules that were given to them. Otherwise, we can't go against NEMA because that will be against our environment. So, as long as we invite more projects and investors for creation of jobs, still we are sensitive of our environment. That's why we say that we have to follow, whoever is doing this should follow the guidelines of NEMA and other government bodies.
Of course, you talk about Mango Tree. That's the Chinese company, the
Yeah.
investors that want to do this sand mining. There's several other businesses that are happening within Wakiso.
Yes.
To what end does council get to come in? Because some people will tell you that councillors rise up in uproar if they feel we have been sidelined. And not just Wakiso councillors, but, you know, political leaders everywhere else. That they will rise up, you know, when they feel we were not involved in this, we should have had a part to play in this. Some will even say, you know, we did not get a kickback. You do hear these stories. When do you folks come in and say there's a business person that wants to come in Wakiso district, they want to set up this, create jobs for our people, but of course, you know, if you're going to make an omelette, you've got to break some eggs. So with the business engagement, there will be either, you know, predicaments that will hit at the environment or some other kind of ramifications. And so those risk assessments have got to be done and so on. When do you folks get to come in?
Now, there are these tax returns. You know, whenever there is business in your area, there are taxes. And remember, as I told you, you have challenges. Now, when we met these people during the launching of the dredger, we told them, first of all, they have to help in the construction of the feeder roads. That is Katabi Town Council. They said that is a must. Because remember, if we have a dock there, we expect some containers to come in. The traffic will be a little bit busy. So they have to clear all the roads. This will be improvement on the service delivery. 2, the taxes. Because, you know, there is Entebbe municipality. Katabi is a town council.
All that is within Wakiso.
That is within Wakiso. We expect taxes to help in other service deliveries like hospitals. We have a problem with our hospitals, health centers, in fact. Because remember, as I told you, Wakiso, by the way, I'm the chairperson of Health Education and Sanitation Committee. We have problems in our hospitals and health centers. These people promised us they are going to construct hospitals to improve on our health services. That is another thing. Also, the councillors' allowances. Because remember, we get 20% on the locally raised revenue. So that percentage will also improve on councillors' welfare. So that's where we come in, and that's why we are trying to say that please allow investors come in as long as they follow the guidelines and rules that are set by the government.
So you guys are saying, you know, since it has a monetary implication on us, we have got to come, which, you know, ideally should not be a bad thing, that you get incentivized, and you know that the harder we work, the better our pay, the more we get to, you know, be involved and make sure that work flows, we get to benefit as well.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about service delivery. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
Yeah, it's the biggest problem.
In this country. There have been several squabbles, political squabbles, be it within council and so on, and then many times it will be the technical wing with, you know, versus the political wing, like we get to see here in Kampala. And at the end of the day, work is not moving. What are we doing to remedy these issues?
In Wakiso, in fact, this is my first term, and we have gone so far 2 years. This is the first incident you saw yesterday. We have not had incidences over fighting for power and what have you.
That's
However,
not true.
What you said, we have a very, very big challenge. Wakiso has the biggest population in the country. 70%, though I'm not very sure, that people work in Kampala stay in Wakiso. But when you come to service delivery, when they are giving, when government is allocating medicine, let me say to Health Center 4, Kasanga Health Center 4, it will be the same amounts that will be given to Kapabyong Health Center 4 without considering the population. So that is a very big, big challenge we have. You will find that people are calling you after 3 days, the drugs are finished. When in Kapabyong they have surplus. That is a problem. Here we are coming in, crying for the government to give us a special status. a special status. Let me tell you, the council of Kampala earns more than 2M. The council of Wakiso earns 175, that is the salary, plus 300,000 as allowances, which totals to around 450 or 475.
That should be before the other incentives that you talked about. Not
that is all the allowances. But if at all we improve on our incomes via taxes, because remember we get from the 20%. What happened? These town councils, you have about 12 town councils and 7 municipalities. They don't remit any taxes, any single coin to the district. But the district offers services to those town councils.
Why don't they? Is that not a failure on your part?
That is Local Government Act. That's how it set it up. That's why we are crying through our area MPs to help us get a special status, whereby we can get a direct fund from the central government to improve on our roads, health centers, schools. Let me tell you, if you reach into our UPE schools, you can shed tears. It's too much. So Wakiso needs a special status to meet all the problems.
What do you mean by
special
status? You want city status? What do you want exactly?
A city status.
Like Kampala?
Yes. We have two things. We are crying to the government, local government, to help us. These local councils, these town councils and municipalities, remit at least 30% of their collections, because we still monitor their services. We still...
Who supervises the work that's done by those small town councils, the municipalities that you're talking about? Is it not you folks, eventually?
Exactly.
So if they collect money and they don't necessarily remit it this side, they use it down there. And you are saying money is collected, but it's not doing its job. I'm thinking
it's doing its job, but remember, that is at town council level. But also the district has a responsibility of offering services. Like, I'll give you an example. I represent Kasanga Town Council to the district. There is nothing that is remitted from Kasanga Town Council as taxes to the district. But we have roads that is a must. It's Wakiso District Council to construct, to maintain those roads. For instance, Manyangwa Kabubu Road, Chitezi to Chitezi Buwambo, that is to Matuga Road, that is under Wakiso District. But it is within Kasanga Town Council, which doesn't remit any taxes. And it's a must that Wakiso has to maintain and construct those roads. So those are the challenges I'm talking about. Kasanga Health Center 4, they have challenges. They don't have staff quarters. They don't have and other equipments. But still Wakiso District is responsible for the construction of staff quarters.
Okay, let's speak to some viewers. Some folks are calling through. There's a number on your screen. You can get in touch with us, make a comment, place a question, whatever the case might be. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, we'll get back to that in a bit. One of the biggest challenges there are in your district, in my view, is the question of unemployment. Yes. There's a high youth population, and many of these young people, they're idle. They don't have work to do. Many times you'll meet them at the small trading centers, playing 1 or 2, gambling away, and so on. And in the evenings, face it or not, you know, these are the ones that will go after people, kataimbwa, and all these different things. You people should be working on some kind of plan. I don't know what magic bullet it would be to create jobs for these young people. What's the plan, if there is one?
Let me tell you, I'll first sympathize with you. A lot of youths there don't have jobs. And this is why you see Kitata can easily manipulate a few and it goes with them. They start terrorizing our area. Now one of the plans, good enough, you come to the same page with me. One of the things that's welcoming investors. We have to pave way for investors. That will help us create more jobs for our population, especially the youths. 2, we are discouraging them. I myself discouraging them from going to betting gambling.
Sorry, let me just pause you there. Let's speak to this person. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
What's your name, sir?
James from Marua.
Jeff from Marua. Yes, talk to us, Jeff.
Yes. I'm perturbed by the statement by our councillor that. Yes, please.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm perturbed by the statement of our councillor that NEMA should be the one to authorize them to stop sand mining. Otherwise, NEMA has been involved in a lot of issues that has led to displacement of our wetlands within Kampala and the Ugandan lands. So they have powers to limit the extraction of sand from those rivers, that lake, I mean.
Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Jeff. If I get Jeff clearly, he seems to be saying NEMA's hands are not clean, so you people should come in. But you see, the NEMA Act does give NEMA powers. Of course, you know, you guys are the leaders on ground.
And he's right.
And, you know, so you need to be involved in a way. But I don't know whether that would mean that now you get to use up the powers of NEMA and, I don't know, different story altogether. Let's speak to somebody else. Hello? Hello? Okay, we'll get back to those. You were talking to me about the question of unemployment.
Yeah. So it's the biggest problem everywhere, not only in Wakiso, but in Uganda as a whole. However, as I told you, so we have to welcome more investors. But investors, I'll put investors in quotes, not these investors who come and start selling pancakes. We've seen investors joining these simple investments that can be done with our locals. That's what we discourage. We like investors with big business like Mango Tree, as long as they follow the right path. That is the guidelines that will help us develop our nation. So that will be improving or creating more job opportunities for our locals. Then we also, there is this issue of operational creation and sorry.
This morning we read in the papers, the Daily Monitor, heifers that were taken to Gulu have not conceived for 2 years. Then of course there's several other issues. Seedlings don't germinate and so on.
And that's what we took to Saleh, by the way. That's what we had gone for. We told him we need to study, to make some how can I call it? Before we give out these animals, the seedlings and whatever. Why? In Wakiso, we have our population, especially the youths, they are in saloons, they are bricklaying, simple projects. Why don't we find ways of helping these people improve on what they are doing currently, other than bringing them coffee seedlings? Because they don't have that land. At the end of the day, you'll find that the coffee seedlings being taken to Wales, where there is big space, will be taken to Mukono, far deep in the villages. And you brought this to improve the people, or to improve the incomes of the people of Wakiso, especially the youths. So we went to Salah and told him, please, you have to revise what you bring in Wakiso.
Okay, let me pause you again, sorry. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. What's your name, sir?
Thank you for the show.
Thank you. What's your name, Chief?
This is David, calling from Kasangati.
I don't hear you clearly. You said you're who from Kasangati?
Alex calling from Kasangati.
Alex from Kasangati. Yes, Alex, go right ahead.
Now, what we should know is that you cannot have your cake and eat it.
You cannot? We're struggling to hear you,
have
Alex.
your cake and eat it. If you want development, we need the sand. If we need the development, we need that sand. If we have to move ahead fast, we need to trade the sand. We need to enter that lake.
You're saying the sand mining should happen for development to happen, right?
Whether you want it or not, it has to happen.
Okay. Shouldn't rightful procedures be followed, though, for the sand mining to happen?
Okay, it's the same thing that is even happening already. We ran from Kampala to Wakiso to construct a store park. You can't, because of those procedures. The same thing you find in Wakiso.
Okay, we are struggling to hear Alex. Seems to be running a bad line. He says, you know, development requires that we get to do these things, you know. But another person would say, all right, development is important, but shouldn't there be regulations? Because otherwise then everybody and their mother is going to get into the lake and begin sand mining. You know, you'll get there in, if I can, I'll come, and other Chinese and so on, and you know. So there should be some kind of regulation. Who do we allow to get there in? What must they do? There's going to be repercussions on the environment. What will they do to clean up, set up a fund? I don't know. But that's debate that can go on and on. Let's pick somebody else. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
What's your name, sir?
I am
Come again?
Osman.
Osman, there is a volume on your TV. Could you reduce it so that we get to hear you clearly? Okay, we lost Osman. Let's do that way for the phone calls. We need to wrap it up. So, tell me, going forward, I know that you folks decided yesterday you're not going to impeach the district chairman. Now that he apologized, you're saying you're going to work in collaboration with NEMA. What's the way forward going on?
Now the way forward is that we have, this will be put on, it will be an emphasis to NEMA. As you remember, the worries of Jeff, in fact, let me wind it up with Jeff's worries. To be sincere, they have some dirty hands somewhere, somehow. And we can't go against them because we expect them to be with the people with the technical know-how on what is required. That's why they are the ones that authorize and license such projects. However, our outcry as Wakiso District is NEMA to see that the guidelines set are followed. The guidelines set for this so this dredging are followed. So there will be, we need a very good enforcement force to oversee that dredging is done in a rightful way. Allow me to go to Alex as well. I'm happy. He's my own from Kasangat. I come from Kasangat. Alex, thank you for your contribution. However much we need this sand, still we have to follow the guidelines, and that is our emphasis as Wakiso. The sand is needed, constructions are going forward and whatever, but the guidelines have to be followed.
Okay, there you are. We will keep tabs on this story to see how it does develop, considering there's many players therein, there's so much activity, but let's see how it goes. Councillor Tom Wonge, thank you for talking to us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's also my pleasure to come to NTV.
Okay, there you are. That will do for today's edition of The Big Story. We'll take a quick break. Everyday life is coming.